Beside the thoughtful cherry blossoms, Ming looked forward and said, "Before the last god on your side falls, defeat Lord Freya, the method can even be fatal. This is what I have to do." That is to say, the priority of the troops is still very clear. That aspect is a lot like Finn, really cunning. No, it should be said that it's about strategy. Listening to the Amazon Aisha, the half-dwarf Tsubaki said with a slight smile at the words. The number of eyepiece lenses is limited. Aisha and the others, Daphne and the others, and Mikoto, in deciding who should give this precious communicator, Lily obviously made a rigorous selection. The force is large enough to be called the Allied Forces. Whether intentional or not, there will be disobedience against the commander. After taking all this into account, Lily entrusted the eye crystals to trustworthy people, especially Aisha and the others who can become trump cards, or hands words. We'll command the troops as far as we can see, or monitor, and then report the situation of the battle to the little ones. In short, it's like a centurion. I'm not good at commanding, get rid of this problem, please. You're the only LV5, you can't run away from work, Cyclops. Seeing Tsubaki's extremely irresponsible performance, Aisha was speechless and said, "Aren't you the head of the family?" Sighing, after confirming the blacksmiths waiting behind her, the bombardment unit, with a large number of magic swords, Aisha said to the orbis in her hand, "There is no movement in the middle of the battlefield, my little one. It's very quiet, it's a little scary. Can't all the troops see the enemy's obvious movements? The former marketplace as base camp." After receiving the report from Aisha and the others, Lily began the long examination under Chigusa's gaze. "Are you planning to spy on our policy? But even if we know that, Lily, we can only investigate." With a feeling that cannot be alleviated, Lily ordered the reconnaissance troops to enter enemy territory one by one. "Here we steal Mr. Pharaoh's attention, so we should have an advantage in information transmission speed. Freya Familia is different. The enemy commander is Mr. Hedin, the farther away you are, the more delays you will experience when settling. Communicate. Even for first-level adventurers. There should be a gap here that can be inserted." Lily believed so. Or rather, so she begged. Even with a transmitter made of magic stones, communicating by light, it's impossible to communicate specific ideas, and some lands can't communicate at all. In the form of searching for God, the value of the orbi that can cross the barrier of time and distance is enough to call it a miss. Ultimately, hide and seek on this island is a war of wits. It doesn't matter how many times you lose in local battles, as long as you win on the most critical battlefield. Even if the Freya family members are far from Hedin, it doesn't matter if you act according to your own judgment. After all, the only advantage of faction and coalition forces is the large number of people. While the sacrifice troops are biding their time, others will besiege Freya's hideout together, so there's still a chance of victory. Once the enemy's formation is confirmed, use the artillery unit holding Kratzo's sword, and the strongest support Haruki-sama, as well as Mr. Bell's trump card. I can't hold back. Time is our enemy, Lily. Before you lose the 46 pillar gods here, take away Freya-sama's flower. She thought of Haruheim and the others who were ordering her to her feet now, and squeezed the uncomfortable sweat out of her hands. As Daphne and the others know, Lily's strategy will result in enormous sacrifices. But even so, Lily still wants to know what the right way is. Where is she hiding? Where are her soldiers? Where to break through the carriage? The white and black that shoot from afar. Disturbing the scene with unique actions and bonds, the Palans. And the strongest, the king, is returning to the goddess. And the guards. She wanted to get this information out as quickly as possible, and she wanted to skip the entire chess game no matter what. Even if reconnaissance troops are attacked, as long as they can leave information, it is equivalent to obtaining a mountain of treasure of thousands of gold. Perhaps it will become the key to the battle situation. So Lily puts on the Dark Commander mask and kills the guilt. Just looking at how ruthless she is as a commander, no matter how Lily grows up, she can't compare to Finn. North, nothing unusual. In the south, the enemy did not invade. Going forward. Unlike Lily's inner anxiety, the battlefield was very quiet. At least the coalition forces side had to keep quiet. In order to find Freya as quickly as possible, or to capture the movement of enemy troops coming towards their own gods as quickly as possible, a large number of recon troops silently moved or ambushed at their respective locations. When will this silence be broken? With each passing minute and second, Lily's chest, which commanded the entire army, pounded even more violently. So Lily waited intently. Waiting for the moment when the companion receives the information. Waiting for the moment when they are yelled at and become victims. She waited and waited, waited and waited, waited patiently, and then she discovered this abnormality. It was so quiet. Very quiet. Hey, Lily Luca Ardi. Already invaded half of enemy territory. As if confirming Lily's premonition, the elf Luvis reported in a confused voice, half of enemy territory. Namely, the fact that the faction and allied forces captured 3/4 of the island. But he still didn't find the enemy and didn't even see any enemy shadows. This is not normal. Abnormally terrifying. Did the enemy commander really understand the essence of this game of finding gods? Your Excellency Lily. I haven't found the enemy at all. Hey, servant of Lily, what's going on? Not even a fight. It's definitely not hidden. We also use Asfi's magic tool. It doesn't matter if it's transparent or deodorized, it's absolutely impossible to pass our vigilance. Lily's thinking wavered in doubt and anxiety, and several blinking eyes also threw a confused look. Is the enemy not there? Stop saying stupid things. How can that be possible? However, it was obviously impossible, but the situation broke Lily's prediction. Aisha's report also ruled out the possibility of them completely hiding from her side. What is this feeling of incongruity? What's with this cold? Has Lily already fallen for the enemy's trick? Countless worries raced through her mind, gnawing at her heartbeat, and Lily suppressed them with a will of steel. The west side of the island intends to take Lily and everyone into enemy territory. But so what? Is the purpose to stretch our formation into a long horizontal snake, away from the lurking goddess Hestia and the others? Or is it that did the other party set a trap to wipe out the faction and allied forces? Lily wrote the common language on the parchment with trembling hands, updated the information and tried to read the disc. Considering the possibility over and over in my mind, filtering out every element that can be thought of, burning to produce a confused spirit. Is it okay to continue west? Should troops be temporarily stopped? But what if the situation is stagnant? If there is no intelligence, it is impossible to preemptively strike or respond to battle. The incomprehensible situation caused Lily's thinking to stall, and she gradually became unable to move. At this point, I found. Enemy found. Among the orbs in a row, one glowed. The owner of the voice is Luvis. At the head of the scout troop was the Modi Familia, in a group of 4. Lily's shoulders suddenly shook, and then she grabbed the crystal communicator like a bolt of lightning. Where is the location? West, west. The westernmost side of the island. West side. The unbelievable report of the battlefield chant made Lily wonder if she had heard wrong. The amount. The scale. Though she repressed the urge to ask the other party what was going on, she almost screamed, completely forgetting that Luvis and the others were still keeping secrets to avoid being discovered by the enemy. However, there was no response after a long time. Only the sound of heavy breathing came through the glass. Luvis opened his mouth just as Lily looked confused. The entire army. The elf's voice trembled, and he said to the little ones stopped in time. Freya Familia, the entire army is here. What is that? Mord froze in place at the scene in front of him. What will you do? The empty voices of Welf with the magic sword and Dormal with the shield overlapped. Seriously, these guys. Tsubaki's right eye, which wasn't covered by the blindfold, was wide open, and cold sweat trickled down her body. Organize the entire army on the westernmost side of the island. Are you kidding me? Must have predicted dozens of enemy strategies. Deputy Commander Daphne said as an outburst. It faces the steep cliff and ruins of the city further west on the surface of the lake. Freya Familia's base camp is here.